Our next guest is our community correspondent in Scripps Ranch. Please welcome back to the show, Scripps Ranch resident and real estate expert, Scott Ryan.
There he is, Mr. Scripps Ranch.
Scott Ryan, man, how are you? I'm good, how are you?
Good to see you. It's going to be a hot summer in Scripps Ranch this summer, just like it always is.
It's my favorite time of year out there. You got June gloom at the coast. It's always sunny in Scripps Ranch.
No such thing as June gloom in Scripps Ranch.
No. It's great. It's great. Actually, we got a lot of great community events coming up, and one of my favorite things is the 4th of July parade. You know, I looked at the SRCA website today, and this is actually the 46th annual 4th of July parade.
Wow.
So
Man.
It's awesome. When I first moved there, someone was like, yeah, we got our own little parade, you know, go to this street and put your chair down, and I couldn't believe it. There's floats and there's guys pushing lawnmowers and doing all crazy dancing. You see the mayor of San Diego, you know, so it's a really big event.
That's cool.
Know?
There's concerts and stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
A lot of good stuff. So also part of the 4th of July, we have the Scripps Ranch Old Pros Run and Ride. So it's a 10K around Lake Miramar, and it finishes at Hoyt Park with a big beer garden. And then they have 3 options on the biking, 12, 28, or 50 if you want to go for a long bike ride. But that's just a great community event. It's probably the biggest event that Scripps Ranch has for the whole year. And the beer's not bad either at the end.
That liquid courage to get some dance moves going.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dance moves, we have the concerts in the park as well. So it's like one more benefit, you know, if you're looking to move to Scripps Ranch, to have that. And that's every Sunday during the summer, once a month, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's once a month. And it's just a great event. You know, what's funny about that event is you get there and the kids are playing, everyone's got their chairs lined up, and the music starts, and there's not so many people dancing, but a little bit of liquid courage sets in, and by the end of the thing, you got all these crazy parents dancing everywhere with their kids, and by the time it's over, they're screaming for more. You know, it's a great event. It's a great event. So.
That's fantastic. I mean, you know, we were talking beforehand about how online there's some talk that the Scripps Ranch market is cool.
Yeah, you know, we're nearing that mid-year part.
Is that any truth to that? Or?
You know, it's funny. I was on Zillow this morning. It said it was a cool market in Scripps Ranch, which really caught me off guard because, you know, I know it's been unseasonably cool weather-wise, but it's starting to heat up. But as far as the real estate market's concerned, I mean, things can be any busier. You know, still multiple offers. I have a client making an offer right now on a $720,000 home. Agent called me this morning. Scott, we got 6 offers. You know, so it's like there's still a lot of buyers out there looking to buy property. Inventories are up a little bit. Year to date on the detached side, we've had 122 closings. On the condo side, we've had 88 closings. Okay. So we're on pace for a good amount of property to be sold. Inventories are slightly up. We have about 77 detached homes currently on the market. I'd say a couple months ago we had, you know, somewhere in the mid-50s. So inventory's up, especially in the higher price points, but we're still, and you and I have been talking about this a long time, that entry-level price point is non-existent. The least expensive home on the market right now in Scripps on a detached side is $698,000. So the median price is just going like this, and people are trying to get in.
There's some attached options, you know, for people who can get in at lower price points than that, right?
Yeah,
and I think for a lot of people, that's a good way to get into the neighborhood. You know?
Not a bad option. I mean, you can definitely find good properties out there that are on the attached side. Again, they can be limited in the number of homes available, but they do come up, and if you can find the right HOA in the right location, be a nice option for you.
Yeah, you can get in, and that's what's cool, I think, about the neighborhood. I mean, it's still now at that price point, there's a tremendous frenzy, you know,
Sure.
going on to get into Scripps Ranch. You know, it's even more so than on the detached side probably, but it's an option for people who don't think, oh, I could never live in Scripps Ranch. You know, I'd love to. The schools, but it's too expensive. Well, look at some of the attached options. They're there. In fact, you've got some listings to talk about today, too.
I do. In fact, I just listed a 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhome. It's 1,352 square feet. It's located in the Scripps Townhomes complex, which is closer towards the freeway side, but off of kind of Mira Mesa Boulevard exit over in that direction. So great complex. This is an end unit, 3-story townhome. Comes with a 2-car side-by-side garage. This complex, things sell quickly. I ran the comps for my sellers, and we looked at every property that's sold in the last 6 months. There's been 8 sales in there. Every single property is sold in 5 days or less. So the trouble I'm having is these folks want to buy another property. So the problem isn't going to be for me to sell their condo. I can make that happen, and it's going to happen probably in less than a week. The challenge is, leveraging that equity and getting them into the next property in a competitive environment when they're making an offer on a house where there's 6 offers. So that's why they hired me. They wanted the local expertise. They interviewed several agents, and they really wanted someone that they could trust locally who knows all the agent, has the connections with all the other agents, has some of the inventory, knows the off-market inventory, because that's a whole nother conversation. I really try to leverage and talk to the other agents in town. What do you have coming up? What's next on your docket? Because I love selling my listings, but I want to know what everyone else has coming up so I can help homeowners like this.
Yeah, because in that situation, it's almost like the buy side is where you have to put all your effort.
Yeah.
Because you almost need to be in escrow in something on the buy side before you list the thing, because you're going to have such a frenzy on the sell side.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the catch-22 of this marketplace.
Sure.
It used to be, throw the sign up, then we'll start looking, and we'll kind of work it all out. I think that dynamic's changed, especially in Scripps Ranch, especially at that price point.
Yeah, you have to plan. You have to plan accordingly. So
when will that one hit the market, the 3-bed, 3-bath?
We're hoping in the next week it'll be available. So actually went with them, and I'm really starting now. Requests for repairs have been the thorn in my side lately. So I actually have an inspector now that's doing pre-inspections for my listings. I can't stress enough to all homeowners out there, get a pre-inspection done, because these folks thought their place was perfect, and there's definitely a laundry list of things, and they were totally surprised. So we had the pre-inspection yesterday. They're working on getting some of those repairs done in the course of the next week, and we'll have it on the market,
Well, I
soon.
think that's huge, because whoever pays for the inspection gets to use it as leverage.
Yeah.
If the buyer's paying for it, they get to use it as leverage against
Sure.
the seller. If you're the seller and you pay for it, then the buyer doesn't know about anything by the time they get their inspection done, because you fixed all the stuff that needs to be fixed,
Absolutely.
So I 100% agree on that. What else do you have coming up on the market?
So I have 2 other detached listings. One, unfortunately, is already sold. But this is, I know, it was I wish I could put this house back on the market again and again and again and again, because I'd sell it every single time. Great property. It was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It was about 2,300 square feet. The great story about this property is twofold. The sellers were on a job reload. They had to go back to Boise. So they came to me and said, Scott, we just bought the house like a year and a half ago. Do you think we can, get out of it? And I looked at it, and they'd done a ton of work on this place. I mean, kitchens, bathrooms, landscape. And a lot of it they did after I met with them, but some of it was already done. And just to go prove the point that if you fix up your home, you can do well, these people got $70,000 above the last market comp for a model match home that's for sale right now down the street. That's original condition, theirs is fixed up, and I sold their house for $70,000 more. So, and I got it to appraise, which is great. So the last listing I have is in my neighborhood, actually. So if you want to be my neighbor, this is a couple doors down from where I am. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,100 square foot house. Great property, great location. You can walk to Jared Beck Elementary, the park, the swim and tennis club. That one's currently priced at $899 to $949. So if you're looking for a larger home, maybe you don't want to live in Stonebridge, or you don't want to live the south side of Pomerado, you want to be more walkable, this would be a nice option, and that's at 12081 Rue des Amis.
And how long do you think a property like that's going to be on the market, Scott? Is that one that'll...
The challenge with this house is they had a fairly large addition. So most of the homes in my neighborhood average between 1,250 square feet up to maybe 1,800, and this is like 31. They did a large addition back in 2006. Wow. So the comps don't necessarily support a house of that price point because of what else is for sale or sold in the neighborhood, but the price per square foot makes perfect sense. So the challenge I'm having is if someone's going to spend $900, will they spend $1 million and go maybe the south side of Pomerado or a different part of Scripps like Stonebridge? So people have options once they start getting into that higher price point.
But if you want the biggest house on the block and you want to be in Scripps Ranch,
what do you mean? You want to have an awesome neighbor?
And an awesome neighbor.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff, Scott. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate all the advocacy for Scripps Ranch. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free.